Hello, everybody, and I was going to say Happy New Year's. It kind of is. We're doing it New Year's Eve, so it works. Shut up. Anyway, welcome to my top 5 games I've enjoyed playing this year. I know last year I did 10, but this year I just haven't played as many different games. I feel like I've been doing longer series on the channel, so just different stuff's been taking up different spaces. You know what I'm saying? And also, I don't want there to be a crossover from last year. I'll leave a link to my last year, what I really enjoyed playing last year. But we're doing 5, so I really have to fine-tooth comb it all to go yes, this is the order. There was definitely one clear winner that I was like, you're my first choice. We're gonna go from bottom to top, so we're gonna start with 5, work up to 1. If any of you guys are new, hello, I am BlueFluffyDuck or Jess, I don't mind either one. I play video games for the channel for fun, and for sadness, and for joy. Anywho, I'm going to start off with some honourable mentions. I want to first off by saying these are definitely games that you should check out. I think there's not a game this year that I've played that you shouldn't check out, right? Because I tend to play games that I'm interested in, so I'm more predisposed to like them. Anywho, these are the ones that would have made it on the list if of certain reasons which I might bring up, or that I just felt like they weren't as good as some other games that I definitely wanted on the list, you know? I'm going to start off by saying I think one that maybe I feel like it should have been on the list, but it's going to go on the honourable mentions because of just bad stuff surrounding it, but fortunately it is getting finished by Skybound, so you guys may know it. It's The Walking Dead, the final season. Now I think a lot of us Telltale fans were so disheartened by the news that it tainted it, at least for me it did. It tainted it a little bit. I am pretty excited that it's going to come back and get finished by Skybound, so and of course I'm going to play it, because who wouldn't? I'm going to go into it knowing it's kind of a different company, but it would have been on the list, but because of the negativeness around that whole situation, it's on my honorable mentions, but it's the top of my honorable mentions, you know. And I mean, if you can still get it, I would still recommend it. They're really fun. On my honorable mentions, because I wanted to mention it because I like it a lot. We want to know how Clem's story finishes. I want to kiss Lewis some more, so you're gonna ask some set. So yeah, that's top of my honorable mentions. The next, I mean, it's gonna be a game, but we only played the demo this year, and by we, it was me and my brother Toby. We played the Good Life demo, which is one of Swery's newer games. There's no release date for it, and I don't know if it's still being kickstarted or whether the Kickstarter's finished now, but it was on Kickstarter, and that's how my brother Toby found out about it, and he was like, this looks like a game you'd like, and I was like, oh hell yeah, because I really like Deadly Premonition, which is also a Swery game, and it looked good, and oh, it's gonna be fun. I know it'll be really fun when we actually play it, because his games are always crazy, but in a good way. They're not crazy oh my god, what? It's more yes, what the heck is happening kind of game. So I'm really excited for that, and there's sheep plushies. I mean, who doesn't get excited about that? And the countryside, the English country. I think it's set in England. I think so. Countryside, which you guys know probably by now if you've been watching me for a while. I'm a big fan of English countrysides, partly because in my golden years when I get there, that's kind of where I want to live, so I just have a special place for it in my heart. It's a demo. I believe you can get it even if you're not backing it. I think you just go and download it, so if you want to check out the demo, go and check it out. I would recommend it. It's a lot of fun. So then my next honourable mention is Bioshock, which I played with my other brother Samuel. So Bioshock has been on our list for me and Samuel to play for a while, and we just got around to doing it. As of I'm recording it now, we finished it yesterday, so those will be going up into the new year, us finishing Bioshock. Oh, because the first Bioshock, I knew stuff about, I knew little tidbits, but I didn't know the entire story, especially the end stuff, which I'm not going to spoil just in case you don't know and you're watching the playthrough or whatever. So I was playing it and watching it, and I was like, oh, what is happening right now? And it's so good, and it still holds up 10 years plus after it got released, which is crazy. A lot of games that old don't really, they kind of, you can tell their age, or they don't really hold up anymore. Unless they hold nostalgia for you, right? So I thought that was I thought it was really fun to go back and play it again, and it's still enjoyable, still gives you spooks, still gives you that Bioshocky goodness feeling. Would still recommend it 10 years later on. My next and last honourable mention is Portal 2 Co-op. Again, it's the reason why it's on the honourable mentions, because it's just the co-op, not the main story. I forgot how much fun Portal games are. Towards the beginning of the year, when I was testing out live streams, I played Portal 1, and I was like, I want to play Portal 2. And then Toby was like, do you want to do co-op? And then I was like, yeah, hell yeah. So me and Toby did Portal 2 co-op. We did that and the DLC that came out with it. And it's just fun playing with portals, you know? I forgot how much fun it is just to sort of mess about and juggle people. and like fling people and make up weird voices and try and get rid of GLaDOS. It's just fun. It's a good time. Portal games are like always good. I would recommend it. All these games I would recommend. Anywho, we're done with the honorable mentions. We're gonna move on to my number 5 placement, which I don't know if you guys would be shocked about necessarily. It's more of a, I didn't actually finish on the channel because people weren't that interested in it. I love it and I need to actually finish it because I haven't actually finished it yet, but it was so much fun. Like so much fun. And that is SpiderMan. Okay, so first of all, I have a crush on SpiderMan, so just ignore that. I'm not biased at all. It's fun being Spider-Man. Fight me. Like, it's so good. Just swinging around, taking pictures, fighting crime, and I'm gonna lay it out for you guys. I know I'm not good at it. Like, I'm very aware I'm not very good at it. But when have I ever been good at games, guys? It's the question I ask you guys. When have I ever been good? But it's just so much fun. It's got so many like different side quests that are still as intriguing as the main plot, which I feel like sometimes, especially in like games like Spider-Man, they tend to focus on the main story, and then side missions are like kind of, well, you know, pushed to the side and there's not much development in them. But I enjoyed them. I enjoyed the main quest. The main quest so far that I've played, like I said, I haven't finished yet, is good. It's something that, I know it's expensive. I know it's very expensive. But what I would do is maybe recommend to put it on like a wish list or something and wait until it's on sale, or, you know, find a coupon or find like a place that's selling it on sale and get it on the sale, because I would definitely recommend it. And if you have got a large amount of money to like spend on a game, would recommend. You've got tons of gameplay in it to mess about with and to play with. If you're a big fan of the Batman games, the combat, in my opinion, is very similar to the most recent Batman games, where it's like sort of you clip to each enemy, which can sometimes be annoying, especially when you're fighting like big groups, but it tends to work out in your favour in the long run. And I think what is also great is you just sort of spin around going, oh, I know Fisk, I know this person, that's Stan Lee making a cameo, you know, rest in peace Stan Lee. But like, it's fun, kind of like swinging from place to place, and be like, I recognise that face, I recognise that face, I recognise that face, I recognise that face. So for someone that's a nerd about stuff like that and has got more nerdy about comic books as she's got older, I was just doing everything. I was like, yes, this is great. And it's something that I really want to get back to, and I don't think I would do more videos on the channel just because you guys don't seem that interested in it. If I'm wrong, let me know. Would you guys want to see Spider-Man return, you know, like months after it got released, just for fun? Let me know. Leave a comment or something. Would you like to see Spider-Man return, or are you okay with me playing it in my spare time? So that was Spider-Man. That came in at my number 5 because I couldn't not mention it, right? It was one that I was like really hyped up for. You know how at the beginning of this episode, I said there was crossover with last year's, but kind of Well, the reason for that is because coming in at my number 4 is The Sims 4, but in particular, The Sims 4 Seasons and Get Famous, which I've done and am doing a Seasons Let's Play on the channel and a Get Famous Let's Play on the channel. Get Famous, I have actually played a lot off camera, so I do know a lot about it. It adds extra elements that you didn't know you were missing until you start playing with them. You know, you're like, oh yeah, it is kind of nice to get your Sims all dressed up for winter, or like, you know, it is nice to have like the ability to make YouTube videos from home. It's these little things that you're like, yes, now I can create this story in my mind, or that I can actually watch play out, versus, yes, this is what they were like, this is what they are like, and you can't actually show that or like feel that. Especially for someone that does Let's Plays and videos for you guys, it's quite nice to do that, especially with Get Famous. I felt like Get Famous, when I saw that getting released, I was like, oh, Get Famous, okay. But when actually playing it, it's so much fun. I think it's one of my favourite active careers, and it adds extra elements to the game. I really enjoy the world. I know other people don't, but I do. And Seasons, what can I say? It adds seasons to the game, which it was lacking. We were always in a perpetual summer with The Sims for so many years, and then we got Seasons, which was good. And I actually really enjoy Seasons a lot. I think one of my favourite things from Seasons is the goddamn thermostat. I know how weird that is, but I'm like, yes, thermostat, yes, on point. I don't know why, just now. I think I got to that stage. I got coat hangers for Christmas this year. I'm an adult, you know, I'm like, yes, thermostats. Oh, I just think it's nice to be like all cozy and like come in from the cold winter weather after making a snow pal, and then you can come in and turn on the thermostat, you know, like, I don't know. And if you enjoy The Sims 4 and you're willing to put money into a game to buy expansions and make the game, get more creative with your gameplay, if you're willing to add money and do that kind of stuff, and you can without, like, you know, bankrupting yourself and whatnot, then do it. It's so much fun. I enjoy The Sims. I know a lot of people do, because otherwise they wouldn't be, like, on their 4th game thinking about making their 5th game, would they now? I am a sucker for any expansion pack they release, though. Not gonna lie. I'm in their net, so but it's, like I said, would recommend, highly would recommend, but I know they're expensive, so again, probably wait till a sale. Like, these are, like, SpiderMan and this one, I would say they're not games that you need to, like, go out and get right now, but, like, if you are interested in them, put them on your wish list, because they are very, very good games. It's just fun, because I feel like people play The Sims to create lives that they can't lead, or they don't lead, or they want to lead, so adding these extra elements, you know, you can be that famous YouTuber, you can be that famous actor, you can kill your Sims by leaving them out in the cold for too long, you know, you can live your dreams in The Sims 4. And do you know what? Is it better to murder people in The Sims 4 than in real life? Yes, it is. With that being said, let's move on to the top 3. Okay, so we're moving on to the 3rd place of my games of the year that I've enjoyed playing. Like I said, some of these games didn't come out this year. They came out, like, before, but I played them this year. I think this did come out this year, actually. I was about to say, this did come out this year. So coming in at number 3 is The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. I don't think I need to say anything more. If you guys know The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, you will understand why I enjoy it. It's very much up my alley when it comes to gameplay, you know, like emotional storytelling games where you get to make decisions that like affect the outcome or affect how people treat you. Obviously in these games there's a beginning and an end and a somewhat middle point, but how you get to those beginning, middle, and ends are always different. You know, like, you can, you know, get help from someone because you're nicer to them, or you can't get help from that person because you were an asshole to them. Just saying, that's how these games work. But what I really, really, really liked about Captain Spirit, and I think the reason they did this is to kind of show you what Life is Strange 2 would be like, which we're getting there, don't worry guys, is it's from a child's perspective, right? So, you know, you have the water heater, which he's really, really scared of. It's called the Water Eater, and it's like one of the bosses that you have to fight in the game, which is such like a kid's way of processing something and managing something. Not to spoil it too much, but in the game you find out that the person you're playing as, his mum died, and throughout the game you're trying to like put on all your like armor and stuff to become Captain Spirit, so you can take down Mantroid. And basically Mantroid is made up of 2 street names, and on that junction that's where his mum died, and it's like, oh, that's such a kid way of processing grief and death and turning it into something so imaginative and creative, and it's such a something a child will do, you know. And it's nice to get in the headspace of a child and be like, that makes sense. Not like, because I feel like in Life is Strange 1 you were a teen, so you kind of, you know what life's like, you know. But in, you know, Captain Spirit, it's more of a, you know, you're like 7, 8 year old, and you know, you kind of know what life's like, but you don't really know why people are upset with you, why people are angry at you, what you've done wrong, that kind of thing. So it's nice to see that explored, and it kind of gives you a new look and a new take on regular old like sort of tropes, but it kind of twists them to a new interesting dynamic between father and son, especially because I feel like you don't really see that often. I feel like you see like mother and insert child, but you don't really see father and son dynamic explored that much. I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head, and I can't, apart from that one. And this is like not a nice father and son dynamic. This is a distraught, grieving guy and a kid grieving in his own way, trying to work as a parental unit, you know? So it's nice. It's nice to explore that as that kind of thing. Definitely Captain Spirit was a free download, and it was definitely to be like, this is what Life is Strange 2 will be like, wink. Which that's fine. But it definitely stands alone it stands alone by itself. You don't need to play Life is Strange 2 or the other Life is Strange games to enjoy this one. It's definitely one where you can go, yep, I get it. This is sad, but like I like it. You know, it's one of those ones where it's bittersweet and it's fun. This stands by itself and it's great. And for that, that's why it's at my number 3. Also, you know, I'm one for getting punched in the feels. And speaking of getting punched in the feels, let's move on to our number 2 placement. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Number 2, coming in, is Life is Strange 2. I couldn't not put it on the list. Life is Strange 2 comes in at the 2nd place because, oh buddy boy, it's the one that's made me go to bed and go, maybe that could be a thing. What about this? Maybe his mum's an ass. Maybe these people aren't dead. Ah! You know? Like, I've had trouble getting to sleep thinking of theories about Life is Strange 2. Yet, you know, which is, I think that's a pretty good feat to have as the game, you know, to make the consumer go to bed and be like, damn, maybe I missed something. Maybe I could have done this. And I'm annoyed that you can't go back and get collectibles. It's the only one annoying thing, but whatever. I'll live with it. But I am a big fan of Life is Strange Before the Storm, Captain Spirit. A big fan of those games. So it wouldn't be I'm not surprised that I, you know, like and love Life is Strange 2. Also, I have a crush on the main character. Again, we won't talk about that. We'll just ignore that. I'm not biased. I do feel like it's nice seeing, because in the first one it was just, you know, one central main character. It was Max. And in Before the Storm it was Chloe. Whereas this, you've got the older brother looking after the younger brother, which is Sean and Daniel. And is it Daniel's the older brother? It's been a while since I have played Life is Strange 2, so don't shoot me. But it's nice seeing that dynamic of like, well, I've got to look after my little brother now. I've got to be responsible. And if you guys watched my playthrough, there was one point where I was trying to be responsible adult, but then he was like, yeah, I'm going to eat berries and throw up all over the place. Let me eat them first, mate, and then you can eat them. Just, why you do this to me? So it's nice being like, oh, damn, there is actually consequences to these actions. Because in a lot of these games, they say there's consequences. When in reality, they're not too consequential. But like this, you know, this made our little brother like wake up during the night and violently throw up. So yeah. And I like meeting the new characters like Brody. Brody is Bay. Fight me. He's so good. Oh my god, I hate you guys. I'm so sorry. Brody is so good. Best character. He's probably one of my favourite characters in Life is Strange. He's one of those nice guys, you know? And you definitely have some characters where, you know, you want to punch him in the face. You know, I think you guys all know who I'm talking about. The racist store clerk. Oh, that's another thing about Life is Strange 2. The scenery. So a lot of, like, you sort of start off in a like, cul-de-sac area, and then you, in like a homey area, and then stuff happens and you end up in like a forest area, and then you end up in like a little store, and then you end up in a motel. And I like how there's different locations and they all feel unique and different. And I like the little tip of the hat to Life is Strange, the first game, you know, whether you saved Arcadia Bay or you sacrificed it because you're monsters. So yeah, I like that little tip of the hat. That was nice. And yeah, I honestly don't think I could say anything bad about this game. I think it raises issues in an interesting way that maybe younger people playing the game wouldn't think of, or wouldn't think are things. Especially coming from like a privileged background, seeing how certain, you know, people are treated in this world, and how sucky and unfortunate that can be, and how that shouldn't be a thing, but it is. And yeah, it's good on so many levels. You know, if you want to be punched in the feels, this game's got you. If you want to feel responsible for a kid, bam, this game's got you. Do you want to be involved in some really interesting storytelling games? Bam, it's got you. You know, like, I feel like it covers, especially if you are someone that plays games for story, and like your main focus is story, and you're not too upset if there's not like, you know, new and you know, innovative ways of playing games. You know, if you're like there for the story and you don't really mind how the gameplay is, you would enjoy it, right? Not to say that this gameplay isn't innovative. I feel like it is pretty interesting. You know, there's drawing, there's like collectibles, there's certain like things you can miss out on if your brother moves away from a certain place. You miss out on that opportunity. Like, I was trying to teach him to skim rocks, and I was like, oh, I'm doing a let's play, I can't stand here forever. And then it was like, oh, you could have taught him if you stayed there a bit longer. And I was like, yeah. This is one that I would recommend getting now. Like, don't wait for the sale. Buy it now. Although I think I'm doing this when the winter sale is on Steam. So, like, wink. You go wink, buy them now. Wink. Anywho, I wonder if you guys have managed to guess my number one spot. Now, number one is a game that I have played a lot in my spare time. I have over a day's hours in this game, which is a combination of playing it on the channel and playing it in my spare time. I have done not one, not two, but I think about 5 different playthroughs of this on my channel. And you guys seem to like really goddamn love it. I'm gonna guess that some of you guys are guessing what it is by now. And coming in at my number one favourite game that I've played this year, it is Monster Prom. How could it not be? It's so good. It's so good. It's just fun. It's just such a fun dating sim. And do you know, it doesn't even feel like a dating sim. It feels like a game that you could just bung on with a couple of mates and just like play through, have a giggle, have a laugh. All the content is fun. All the story is... There's so many different scenarios and different choices to take that no one... Like, unless you've played it for like, and got like every single option, you'll always get a different option. There'll always be a different route that you have taken. And all the characters, I feel like the characters are in this weird place where they're like people that you see all the time in dating sims, but they're also unique in their own ways. I don't know how they've managed to do that, but it's definitely the feeling that I get from it. I think it's from my knowledge at least, and I have not played as many dating sims as maybe some of you guys have, but I feel like it's probably the most inclusive dating sim out there. Because you can choose your pronoun, you can date whoever you want. It feels inclusive, you know. It doesn't feel like very biased towards a certain gender or a certain stereotype, you know. It is obviously very, very like, this is a high school, remember? I don't know how to explain why I like this game so much, but I think it's because of how different scenarios can turn out to be interesting. And I feel like even when you lose at this game, you win because it's witty and it's so excellently like crafted in like the art to the writing to the gameplay, and it's I don't know. I would recommend it. I can't sing its praises enough. It's definitely, like I said, #1 game of the year. Would recommend to anybody, and have recommended it to anybody who will take the hour out of their day to listen to me selling them Monster Prom. It's so much fun. I can't. I have played it, like I said, I've played a lot on the channel. I played a lot of it on the channel, but I've also played a shit ton of it in my spare time. So, it's definitely one that you can buy for fairly cheap. Like, it's not like a £50 game. It's like £9-10, and you get your money's worth and then some, which is always good. It's always good when you look at a game and go, yeah, I see this. Yeah, this is good. This was a good investment of my money, because obviously not everybody's made of money, you know? We don't all have jobs or stable incomes. With all that being said, Monster Prom is my top game of the year. Would recommend. Followed by Life is Strange 2, then Captain Spirit, then The Sims 4 Seasons and Get Famous, and then SpiderMan. That is my top 5 games that I have enjoyed playing in 2018. I hope this has, I don't know, given you guys some idea of what to buy if like you've got some Christmas money, or if your birthday was around this time. You can like, you know, maybe go, yeah, I was thinking about buying this, but after watching Jess's review, her weird review that she just did, yeah, I'm gonna pick this up now for definite. I would definitely recommend the top 3. The top 3 are ones that I think if you've got the money to spend it now, they're not too expensive, and you're gonna have fun with them. And for example, like Life is Strange 2 is still being released. 4, 5, I feel like if you really want them, definitely pick them up. But if you don't have the money right now, just put them on the wish list. Wait till they go on sale, pick them up. I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to me rambling about my favourite games I have played this year. If you guys have enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like, comment, favourite, subscribe, and share, because sharing is caring. Have a safe New Year's, and let me know what games you enjoyed playing this year. It doesn't have to come out this year, just ones that you've been enjoying, like Minecraft or something, I don't know. And yeah, let me know, and I will see you guys in the new year. Bye guys!